the evacuation cantilever training video. Anybody exiting out of the building just has to take this release arm that's right here, which activates the holding pin on the other side at the end, over there. So if you look at my handle here, they just have to turn this. By turning this mechanism here, they release the mechanism there. They have to come down the stairs. Then they have to start coming out. And then the mechanism will, the staircase will start coming down. And as it comes down at 2 to 3 feet per second. Hits the ground, stays down. And once they get off the fire escape, it does not go back up because it's not supposed to. It allows the next person to evacuate without having to go through the whole process. And this person can go away. When the firemen return, the firemen now have the fire escape ready for them to use, and they just step on it and they start going back up to evacuate the building. There's no need for anybody to hold it in its position. Now, I'm going to show you the process of how to put it back up. The putting back up process involves two people, so the fire escape does go up easily, so it can be put up by hand. Okay, but I need somebody else up there to put on the mechanism, so I'm going to have the person activating my camera come here and raise it. Now you can only raise it so far with your hand, and then you're going to have to use an extension pole just to push it up the rest of the way, but I'll show that. So you need two people to put the unit back up in the air. Okay, with an extension pole, the fire escape has to be raised until the weight is resting on the unit up there. As soon as the weight is resting, and then the person up here is going to activate this. So go underneath to show the mechanism getting activated. The person underneath just activates the switch. So that switch goes. Once activated, now no one can pull it down. Go to the other side, please. With the mechanism in position, if somebody was to try to pull this down and break into the building, that mechanism stops them from being able to pull the unit down. But if this is going to be inspected every quarter, somebody has to do is activate here. So the mechanism is ready for multiple use. Activate here. Come down. Come stepping down slowly. It's supposed to drop 2 to 3 feet per second. So the average person will come down. Once it drops, as you can see, it drops 2 to 3 feet per second. And then you're able to evacuate. Step away from the fire. And it stays down as required by law. Must be single action requiring no special knowledge. Drop to the ground and stay down at 2 to 3 feet per second. And requires two people to basically reconfigure it so that it's ready for the next inspection. As you can see, the unit has to be put up. So it's a two-person operation whenever the unit is utilized and put in and worked on. So somebody must be downstairs to put it back up. So once you go downstairs, you push it up. And the putting up, it doesn't go by itself. Somebody has to push it up. So you can lift it as far as you can by yourself. So he's going to lift it. So as you can see, it's not that heavy. Yeah. So he can lift it. Again, everything's based on weight ratios. And as you can see, he can only go so far. So he needs a stick. A broomstick, right? Now watch. And just stick with a broomstick. Now he's going to push it up until it rests on the weight. Once it rests on the weight, that's it. The mechanism is locked. So if somebody tried to pull it down, it would jam on that.
Got you.
Okay, so now, unless they have access up here, as you can see, the mechanism is working. Okay, and so it's with two hands. And I had to modify it against that wall because that wall is hollow inside. There's nothing inside these things.
Right.
It's like a little skinny shell. So I did it. So that was one of the reasons why it wasn't working. I gave you, instead of this little handle, I gave you extra handles so that, even if you have to do it by two hands, it's working fine. So now, you come in here, go out over there, please. So now, in case there's an emergency, you one hand, pull it. So if you want to, it's dry. So you want to give it a hand, just pull it. Just give it a yank back. Yep. You want to close it? Is it easy? Okay.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Right. So now I'm about to evacuate. So the rule is, it normally on a different unit, when you release it, it's supposed to go down. But this one's all screwy.
Fine.
So I had to decide, what do I want that to lift it, or do I want to let that drop it slowly?
Okay.
I had to choose one or the other on this particular one. So I have the mechanism so nobody breaks into your building and takes it down. I release it. I then come down like I'm trying to get out of the building. I have to come out here a couple, and then it starts to drop. So as you can see, it doesn't drop so fast that it scares me.
Okay.
It drops at slow speed.
Okay.
Hits the ground.
Okay.
I run away.
Okay.
And see, it already wants to come up a little bit.
Okay.
If I didn't balance this correctly, it was going to go up.
Okay.
Meaning you'd have to repeat the same process.
Over and over.
Now you don't have to repeat it. It's already down for you.
Okay.
So it evacuates 30 people, however many people it evacuates. It's in the down position. These people all get away from the fire.
Okay.
The fire department arrives 1 minute, 10 minutes, or an hour later, and they already have it in the down position. They use it to access your building. Now, if it was in the up position, they'd get here. If it was the way you think it was, it would go, let's say I left. As soon as the last person left, it would just go up by itself. And let's say it was much higher. Okay, so now somebody needs to come here and pull it down with one of his poles.
Why?
So that's not how it's supposed to be. Once it comes down, it's supposed to stay down.
Okay.
So I had to pick one of the two evils. Now, I'm still going to clean this and paint this. The last thing I'll paint.
Okay.
So it's not done. I'm just going to prime this area.
Fine.
All the steps are going to get another coat.
Okay.
We did everything that was related to the paint. And now you've seen that the biggest problem we had was how does this work? And even again, so we got that. As soon as we stiffened it up against the building and I welded it to the I-beam, which is good. So, and it doesn't get this much action in its whole life. Every 5 years you gotta do this. So it's going to stay like this and stay like this for 5 years. Because people don't play with this every year.
Oh, no. No, we have quarterly vouchers, so we use it.
Oh, quarterly. They want, oh, that's very good.
So we use it.
So they're going to make you go down the stairs every quarter. Very good.
And we send clients, and the staff members go see clients, and stamp it on this back wall. Oh, okay, we use it.
Very good. So now you see, you feel comfortable with the number? It's also got a 10-year guarantee. So that in case any of these mechanisms fail, we'll fix it for free. So even if something comes up, now the cable, we already cut off the excess.
Oh, yes.
One of the reasons I was going to take the cable is where it used to bend around there was bad.
Oh, right.
But we moved it to a better spot. So I cut away the bad spot. So half-inch cable is better than my 3/8 cable that I was going to use. So this is very heavy-duty cable. So we decided to just keep the cable because we just modified it and re-knuckled it up there and re-knuckled down there. And then we painted the whole cable. So it's very good condition.